Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. And it's been a while since I've done a card reading. So I'd like to do a card reading for the new moon in Taurus. That was actually a couple of days ago on the 22nd. That new moon was conjunct Uranus and square Saturn and the ruler of that new moon, Venus, was conjunct Vesta, the asteroid of devotion. Um, Venus was in Gemini and part of um, a grand air trine with Mars and Venus, actually. So this new moon in Taurus, just from that alone, um, imbues a sense of revolution, a sense of cooperation between people, a sense of a new way, new values, and creating structures that will support those new values. Okay, so just in general as an energy, astrological energy. So what I'd like to do is I would like to do a reading for just for everybody in general for this new moon um, in Taurus. All right. What do we need to be aware of at this time? Now, the new moon in Taurus is a monthly cycle, right? The lunation is a monthly cycle, and it goes from the new moon in Taurus until the day before the new moon in Gemini. So this is sort of a monthly energy, but because of the aspects in the new moon, while it is a monthly energy, it is setting up energy for the future as well. So it's not just a monthly thing. With the new moon conjunct Uranus, Uranus is revolution, evolution, change. And of course, Taurus is about our resources and our values and our money and what is essential in our lives. And we're really coming to a sense of what is essential and who has their needs met and who doesn't. So, all right, we're almost ready. I do the cards until they feel ready, and they're not quite ready. So just be patient with me and the cards. One of the things we learn in Taurus is patience. Slow and steady wins the race, folks. Slow and steady wins the race. All right, let's see here. All right, this is a cave of mine that a little chilly this morning. So, okay, so let's see. Oh, interesting. So the first card that I pick is the Six of Fire or the Six of Wands. It is a victory card. It's called Glory um, in this deck. So the Six of Fire represents a victory um, of something. Something is victorious. Something is coming out of, something is growing out of the ground here. But in this deck, um, there is this sense of victory at what cost, right? So there is this sense of sort of rising up out of, to a certain extent, the ashes with this card. Um, okay, so we're sort of coming out from the other side of something, and there is this energy of victory associated with it. What's challenging it? The Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is about having to accept what you can't change and changing what you can and the wisdom to know the difference. So while we're rising up, there are certain things that we have um, power to apply our energy to, and other things that are completely out of our hands. And that can be challenging because um, we want to have some sort of control over what is rising up at this time. This sort of new, sort of, this new, perhaps spiritual place, because we're dealing with fire with the 6 of Wands. There's also this sense of delay and the sense of things are happening around us that we have no control over. So that is a challenge at this time. Let's see what's at the root of this. Okay, we have the 5 of Pentacles in this deck, called the 5 of Earth, or nadir. Nadir means the end, the bottom. This is usually some sort of bankruptcy. This is usually some sort of, whether it's, emotional bankruptcy, physical bankruptcy, spiritual bankruptcy. But it is an indication that we have come to the end and the bottom of something. And quite frankly, we only have up to go. So at the root of this is, I think, to a certain extent, a collapse of um, the economic system that we base our whole sort of world upon. That has reached the bottom. I know, we are in a petrochemical world. Of course, we're trying to shift that, right? We're trying to become more uh, ecologically conscious. We're looking for renewable energy sources that don't pollute. Um, and oil, of course, is none of those things. And oil was just minus $40 a gallon, mainly because there was something that happened between Russia and the Soviet Union before Corona hit. And now that there's so many people in quarantine, we're not using the oil. And so it's being produced, but it's not being utilized. And so the people producing the oil are actually paying for people to take the oil away. So there's all this extra oil that we aren't using. And so this is something that, many of us who've hoped for a change and an end to that type of energy, to be dependent on that type of energy, and a lot of us didn't know how it was going to stop, and it seems like it's stopping. The Earth is doing it, and it's stopping, because we're not using it. And it will be interesting to see how we move from this point, because of course this is where we're at right now. And I think at the root of this new moon is a new way to the energy of this new moon is a new way to relate to our resources, to relate to our resources, our resourcefulness. What do you need? What don't you need? Of course, we need food, we need water, we need shelter. But beyond that, what else do you need? What are you really missing? Do you really have to go to a game? Do you really have to, just different, our values are being shifted. I'm back. I had to go and take care of something. All right. So, we have, just to review for myself, the first card we get is the 6 of Wands, indicating some sort of victory, and that this is the energy of the new moon, that we will have a victory out of this. But the ground from which this victory rises is one of actually great suffering, great suffering. And then the challenge is, our inability to take an action. We're sort of hung up with the Hanged Man. And we're in quarantine, of course, which prevents us from doing stuff. But that's all part of this sort of reset anyway. It's a necessary part of this, and at the root is coming to the end of a certain way of um, financing ourselves, certain way that the economy is set up, that is coming to an end. I think the as I said, the petrochemical economy is in its death throes, which is interesting because that in a way changes um, the balance of power in a way. So let's see what's in the past. Okay, we have the Four of Spirit, or the Four of Wands. In this deck, the Four of Fire is an energy that is spirit is contained. And of course, spirit doesn't like being contained, quite frankly. But in the past, there was an order. There was a box that we were all living in. Okay, let's see what's in the sky. Okay, we have beauty. We have the Six of Pentacles. Now we started with the Six of Fire, and now we have the Six of Earth. The sixes are located in the Tree of Life in Tiphereth. Tiphereth means beauty, and so we have the word beauty here. This is about a more fair distribution of resources, a more fair distribution of resources in the immediate future for this new moon. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is a change in fortune. This is a fated time. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Those in power will fall, and those who are not in power will rise. And the people and who's not in power are the people. So the people will rise up. Yay. Sorry. All right. How it's seen from the outside, at the outside of everywhere, perhaps. What are the aliens thinking? The Ace of Wands. New beginnings, new creative force. This is a time of new beginnings. In the tarot, in the Kabbalah, the aces are located in Kether. Kether is the top of the tree. All emanates from Kether. This is the root of fire and the root of spirit. So this is, so what's outside of us? Perhaps spirit, perhaps guides, perhaps aliens. This is a new beginning. The vibration, this particular vibration in the numerology system that I use is a 9 vibration. It's a 27-9 vibration. And the 27-9, of course, it's a 9. It's about endings, but it's an ace, so it's about beginnings. And so out of these endings comes new beginnings. And that was sort of indicative of the first card that we pulled, the Six of Wands. Let's see our domestic situation. All right, I love this. This is so, oh, this just makes my heart sing. It's the Mother of Earth. Mother of Earth. This is Mother Nature in all her glory. And so domestically, as we as humans like step back from, I guess, ruling the earth comes back and is I don't know, the earth rises up again. Mother Nature with all her bounty. Look around if you have the opportunity to go out, and if you don't, even just open the windows and breathe in the air without the smog and the pollution, and see the little animals coming out and the birds singing, and you can hear them because there's not cars passing. It's beautiful out there, folks. It's beautiful. Nature is alive and well, and just be part of that. Put your feet Take your shoes off. Put your feet in the grass. Feel her. Ground yourself. There's a whole like thing that they talk about. It's like this thing they it has a name, but it's really just walking in the grass in your bare feet. Now there's a name, but there is power in that, and grounding, and the earth. We have a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear around this. Let that fear drain out of you, and give it back to the earth. Give it to the earth, because the earth will transform it in that energy of fear, whatever it is that you need to release and let go of. She will transmute that into life. Okay, into life. Hopes and fears, inaction, being at a crossroads, not knowing what action to take. Those can all be pretty scary things. But it's also a time of non-action. And so make the most of that time of non-action. Outcome, the Tower. Okay. The Tower card is the falling down of the old order. That could be the old order in your life, or the old order politically, or the old order on a global level. They're coming down. That those who have built their towers high and stand above us all, and we're just little ants to them. That's who's coming down. That's what's coming down. That structure. And they will remember who they are, and we will remember who we are. Spirit having a human experience, part divine and part earthly, connected within our own hearts. The Tower card is about remembering who you are, and that's what this new moon is going to help us do. It's going to allow us to remember who we are. And underneath it all, we have the Seven of Water, and in this deck, another deck's the Seven of Water. Is not a great card, but in this deck, it's about being able to see over the illusion, see through the illusions. So this is going to be a very powerful time for us. This new moon is going to really break us free from the old paradigm, and that can be very scary. But know that this is exactly what we're here to do right now, that this is so very important if we want to ultimately survive and thrive on this planet. We have to make the change. The planet is giving us an opportunity to do that. Let's not rebuild using outmoded and out ways of structuring society. This is the new earth. This is the new society. This is the Aquarian age, and we need to be it and live it and love it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Like and subscribe. It's been a little bit of a challenging reading for me, not because I'm not enjoying it, but because my mother keeps calling my name. I don't know if you can hear. You probably can't hear it. But it's like, and I've already like taken care of what I need to take care of with her. So it's not like she needs anything right now. But it's like nails on a chalkboard sometimes for me. So, all right, guys, like and subscribe. See you later. I'm gonna probably do one of these for Trump in the United States. Take care.